All right, it's time for our first local focus segment, and I wanted to go big. I wanted someone that either had a reputation or a title, something really cool and catchy, like, oh, I don't know, New Mexico's fastest man. So that's who I got. We got Jordan Byrd. Jordan, thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah.
Don't scratch me with that championship ring.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. That is huge. They're giving those out in high school now?
Yeah.
Dang, there's diamonds right there. State champ, of course, at Manzano, and a runner as well, and we'll get to some of that. We'll get to that later. But tell me about, what was it like growing up? Mom and dad. Tell me about mom and dad.
They just kept me humble. They always were there for me. Anything I did, they were always there. Even if it was something little, they always been there for me. My dad, he's always pushed me to the above, so that's what I really thank him for. And then my mom, she was always there for me and always pushed me in school. My dad was always on the sports side, so he really helped me with that. And I'm just glad I had them both in my life. You know, a lot of people don't have the opportunity to have two parents in their life, so I'm glad I had that. And I just thank them all. And my childhood was pretty good. It's always been with sports. I've been running track since I was 5 or 4 years old, and I actually played basketball when I was 4, so it was really cool to have that. And I didn't start playing football until I was 7, so it's been a really busy life with sports. So.
So you mentioned having the two parents. What's the difference there? Did you grow up around some friends maybe that didn't have that luxury? Talk about how that helped your development.
Yeah, a lot of my friends would tell me, well, you're lucky to have your dad and your mom in your life. You know, one of my friends I used to play football with, he lost his dad in, I think, an accident, and my dad would always try to like comfort him, make sure like, oh, you can call me dad if you want. I'm always here for that. And my friends really enjoyed my dad and my mom, so that's one thing I'm glad I had.
So you said mom was kind of the school person, dad was the athletic. Yeah. So when little Jordan Byrd got in trouble, which one did you run to when you got in trouble? Who's going to give you an easier time?
Probably my mom, because my dad, he's a scary dude when I was a little.
So your dad played the bad cop?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And did that kind of work in athletics the same way? Your mom played good cop, your dad played bad cop?
Yeah, well, when I used to play football, my dad used to always have film for me after the football games. We used to sit there and watch film and watch over my mistakes, and we never watched good stuff, or we never talked about good stuff. We always went over the mistakes I can always improve in practice in that other game. So we always went through that. And then my mom used to always say, why are you so harsh on him? But my dad wasn't really the type of man to like push me to where I can't be pushed anymore. He always loved me, so he knew when I could stop and keep going. So.
And what was kind of their athletic background?
My dad actually played in Georgia, Carrollton, Georgia. He actually was getting recruited from Auburn, LSU, any D1 school you can name. So, and then he actually messed up on his ACT and SAT scores and ended up playing here at Eastern, New Mexico. And that's where we found my mom. And my mom, she used to run track, and she was a really good track athlete. And she didn't run in college. She was in a band and played I think, clarinet or something like that. But that's when they found each other.
So did you get a lot of that? Hey, don't repeat some of our mistakes. Make sure you're taking care of business in the classroom. Yeah. Did you get that from your dad?
Yes, I did from my dad, because I used to always tell my dad I want to be just like you. But he always taught me to be better than him. So that's one thing I kept in my mind when I was little, so that's what I'm trying to do now.
So what were some of your earliest obstacles, whether it be in athletics or in life, that your parents helped you with?
Just helped me become a great young man and a humble man. They always told me the reason why you got your genes and your genetics is from the man above. So that's one thing my dad and my mom taught me, and my grandma as well. My grandma's always been there for me too. She's never missed a track meet or a football game. So
when we're talking about early Jordan Byrd's lifetime, how much sports was involved? So, I mean, did you have any normal kind of, the video games, the running around, any of that? Or was when did sports really start?
I did that, and I had friends over. We always played games, and my dad used to always teach me when I used to play football, just have fun. Don't take it too serious, because if you take it too serious, you might one day not like the game. And so I took that as an advice, and when I was little, I used to just play and have fun, and after games, I used to always play with my friends and go to their house, and they came to my house, had movie nights and stuff like that. And sports started getting serious when I when I was, I think, 12 years old. We traveled to, I think, Sacramento, California for a track meet for the Nationals Junior Olympics, and that's when I thought it started getting serious. I took third in the 400, and then I think I took third in the 100. But my dad told me, he said, if you want to get first, you can always improve, and that's when I started taking sports serious.
So when did it turn into, okay, I'm beating every kid on the block in a race, I'm beating every kid at horse, and I'm just more athletically gifted? When did that kind of start to take place?
Honestly still don't see that. A lot of people ask me, like, just why are you so good and stuff. I'm like, I just get it from my genes and God. So I still know today I could still be beaten by anybody. Even when I was little, I knew I could always get beat. But one person that really pushed me and wanted me to like excel was one of my friends. He actually lives in Florida now. His name is London Kraft. He used to play for Rio Rancho, and he was always older than me. And they used to have age groups for track. They're called I think midgets and bantam. I was a bantam and he was a midget, and I think he was 10 and I was 8, and that was the first time I've ever raced against him. And me and him we both tied the race, and then like I think the next week after that he beat me, and I was crying, and my dad told me, he said, that's just how life is. You get beat, you gotta fight from it and work harder.
Now, which sports did you kind of were drawn to as a child? Did you have a favorite when you were a child, and did your parents try to steer you towards one, or kind of let you figure stuff out?
I used to like basketball. That was my favorite sport, and I played that since when I was 5, and then when I finished playing basketball when I was in middle school in my 8th grade year. I broke my ankle, and my dad told me I couldn't play basketball anymore because that's more of a dangerous sport than football, my dad said. So.
Yeah. All right, so we kind of fast forward a little bit. So I'm sure there's going to be some athletes watching on Proview that are like wondering, okay, how do I get this good? Take us through your daily routines when you're in season.
Just working hard, doing what I can do, just going to trainings or finding trainings that I can like really help my speed, and then getting me stronger and just lifting more. And football and track is a lot different with lifting and stuff. So for football, I just lift with my football team, and for track, I do that on my own because we don't really lift or anything for track. So just it's a lot different. A lot of people ask me, what do I do? And I give them good advice, but I just take what my coach gives me and I just do it.
I think I remember a game where I was doing sideline reporting for a game of the week, and you kind of walked up next to me on the sideline, and we have our intercom system, and I told the fellas, I'm like, man, you guys wouldn't believe this guy's legs. And after, of course, they stopped making fun of me for noticing that. Yeah. Then they're like, "Oh, you're right," and they got a shot. So how much work goes in there? Because obviously you're a power runner.
Oh yeah. A lot of people don't believe me, like what I'm about to say. I actually squat 530 and I bench 300. So a lot of people don't see that side of me. The only people that see that is my team and my coaches. And when they see me on the field, they're like, "Oh, he's a little kid," but I'm actually really strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, when you stood next to me, I wasn't impressed with your height or anything like that, but then the legs, So, and then your game day routine. I remember I traveled down to Cruces to you guys' game there. And, you know, a lot of guys of your caliber, they have a certain game day routine, and I don't want to say it's borderline swag or arrogant, but you can tell that they're the best player on the field. And pregame against Las Cruces, I noticed you were, and Coach Mendoza was with me, you were kind of just, you know, doing your thing and seemed so calm. You had a calm and ease about your thing. Talk about your just game day demeanor and routine there.
One thing I do is try not to get nervous and stressed about the game, so I just relax and just have fun, and it's like it's another game to me. So even if we're playing the #1 team in the state, I'm gonna take it as another game and play against the people I'm gonna play against, and just have fun with my team and make sure they're comfortable and not nervous. So I just dance and just have fun with them.
So does Jordan Byrd have an athletic weakness, and what is it?
I do. 400s and ice baths. That's one thing I hate. So that's one thing I could say.
So what would Coach if I asked Coach Adcox that same question and I said, hey, what does Jordan have a weakness out there? What would he say?
Probably my eye vision. I'm not really good. I can't really see. So, and then he kept telling me to wear contacts, and I just can't. I can't get them in my eyes. So that's one weakness I have in football is when they're doing signals and stuff. I'm always squinting and looking and asking people.
Well, when there's no one ahead of you, right? You've run past everyone.
Yeah,
you don't have to see anything at that point, right?
Yeah, that's one thing. I have good eye vision, but looking at stuff, I can't see. I'm blind.
I think what a lot of people bring up about you is your drive and your focus. How much more focused are you than other guys?
It's just my dad's always been pushing me to always stay focused about one goal, and then I set that goal, and then I just stay with it. So that's one thing I really like that my dad taught me.
So do you see that when you've been competing against others? Do you see yourself outworking others? Because that seems to be the book on Jordan Byrd is he works harder than everyone else.
Yeah, people say that, but the people on I practice with really push me. Like one of my teammates, Andrew Erickson, and the other one, Isaac Cole, they really pushed me to excel even further. Even we could be jogging and we're always pushing each other. So it's really cool to have people there for me that can push me and make me better too, as well as I'm making them better.
So now that you've done the high school thing and you were a dominant athlete, obviously, in high school, how much did you get to enjoy high school life outside of athletics? How much non-athletics was there?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed high school without sports too. Even though if I didn't play sports, I knew that my life I could always enjoy high school and be ready for college too. So it was really cool.
What are your interests away from athletics?
I actually like to paint, and I design shoes. So a lot of people.
Do you think the studio could use some work? Do you think are you free before you leave?
Maybe I can help with that. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that side of me. I like to paint, and I really like dogs. So if I have any chance to see a dog, I'm always pulling up next to a dog or head.
Design shoes as well? Yes. Talk about that.
Yeah, I design shoes. I've just always had an interest in shoes. Even though I'll spend thousands of dollars on shoes, I try to make shoes and stuff, and I actually paint shoes and sell shoes. So I basically have a business that.
So how can people, if they want to hit you up for shoes?
Just hit me up on Instagram and.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do I get commission for that at all?
I don't know, maybe, but yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and I'll design shoes or paint shoes for you.
Oh, I might, maybe I'll do that.
Maybe.
Next week we're kind of going to get into Jordan's athletic senior year, his recruiting, his decision to go to San Diego State. More with Jordan Byrd next week on Local Focus.